that once you adopt it, once you seriously consider adopting it, it really will transform your whole life. Alright, welcome back to another video on the Flow of Consciousness YouTube channel. As you can see, a new setup. I just moved to another apartment and I just wanted to get used to the environment and try out a few things. So in this video I want to talk about motivation follows action. And if you're watching this, you're probably sometimes struggling with motivation and feeling like you don't want to do anything at all. I want to share a little bit about my personal experiences with this mindset, with this idea, because I think that once you adopt it, once you seriously consider adopting it, it really will transform your whole life. And today I had some very bad news and I felt so empty, so demotivated, so unwilling to do anything. I was just laying there in my bed, not doing anything really, and just trying to find the will to do something. And all of a sudden this idea came to my mind again: motivation follows action. And I decided to look up some YouTube videos, and I started watching a YouTube video. I don't remember what it was about, but it got me into this mode of, okay, I am learning something, I am looking how they're making these videos, let me just go outside, find a place that I can sit down and record a video. And that's what I did, and now I am recording this video and I can already feel that I am motivated to do so. I can already feel my energy rising. I can already feel that I have this excitement inside me for doing this, for actually taking the step to do something, and then to know that the motivation will come, right? So I want you to take a moment to imagine a moment, to remember a moment where you feel or felt so demotivated. You feel like you don't want to do anything. You don't want to take action towards your work or your studies or cleaning your house, or you're procrastinating, right? You're just perpetually procrastinating. And this makes you even feel worse because you know that you are able to take action, but you're just not doing it because you're waiting to feel motivated. And maybe you watch a few motivational videos on YouTube and whatnot, and this still doesn't get you going, right? So what I want you to do instead is to reverse that process, to really just push through a little bit of the initial discomfort, right? There will be a little bit of friction. And initially, I felt, I don't want to start looking for ways that I can do something. I don't want to find a place where I can set up my camera. I don't want to start to record this video. But you know what? Let me just push through this initial resistance. And as you do that, as you put, it's only a tiny layer. It's like when you have a lake with water, you know, where the water touches the air, there is actually the surface of the water, right? And the surface, it has a certain energy. It's called the surface tension. And it's basically what these small mosquitoes that can walk on the water, they use this energy to walk on the water, basically, because without the surface tension, they would sink, right? So if you want to break out of the water, you will have to move through this layer of surface tension. And when you do, it's quite hard to go through. But once you break the threshold, you then fly out of the water effortlessly, almost effortlessly, right? So I want you to consider this idea of the surface tension, this energy field that is kind of blocking you from going through, but is actually not blocking you. It's just a level of energy. It's not really a barrier, you know. It's not something that you can't go through. It's not like a wall. It's more like something that you have to push through a little bit, and then you go through it. And you do this by just taking action in a small step. Take a small step. Get up. I got up and I start looking for a place that I can sit down and put my camera so it looks quite nice. I like this setting. It's beautiful. It's pretty. The light is good. So I was like, yes, it's starting to look good. So finally I can just give it a try, right? And now I feel motivated to do it. Now I feel excited about recording this video. After I finish, I will probably do some more work. And it's just the fact that I reversed the process. I didn't wait for motivation to come to me. I knew I had to push through a little bit. And then I understood that motivation follows action. And I would just want to invite you to try it out. It's like when you go to the gym, right? I love going to the gym, but sometimes I hate it. And sometimes I have a very, very hard set I need to do. And I know that I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But then I decide to still do it and I push through. And as I do that, I get more motivated to push harder. And after I finish the set, I know that I can be proud of myself for pushing through, right? And this you can apply in basically any part of your life. You can apply it in your work, you can apply it in your studies, you can apply it in your creative endeavors. It's universally applicable. Once you get the hang of this, once you understand that, okay, right now, I really don't feel like doing anything, but I know that by doing something, I will start to feel motivated. It's like when you're procrastinating on studying. You don't want to study because you're afraid that you will fail the test and there is no point in doing it anyways, and all these excuses inside your head, right? Instead, I would invite you to take your course or your notes or whatever it is and commit to reading 3 sentences, literally 3 sentences. Taking your notes, put them on your desk, sit down on your chair and read 3 sentences. And I can almost guarantee you that you will not just read 3 sentences. But it's basically a way to trick yourself into committing. And once you get it going, there is something called the sunken cost bias. And it's applicable in many different situations. What it means basically is that we as humans, we tend to have a bias towards projects or things that we committed to and put in time and effort into, to want to keep sustaining them. For example, there is this famous example of like a business who pumped a lot of money into renovation, but the renovation works, they weren't really working out. There were a lot more complications, and eventually they had to pay double the amount in order to make it work. But then eventually it started to become clear that it was a project that was going to get bankrupt. It was going to become a flop, right? It was going to become something that would not work out. But they kept pumping in the money because they were so invested. They put in so much money and time already that they decided to not give it up. They didn't want to give it up because they felt like if I now would pull out the plug, then all this money is lost. But what people tend to forget is that, well, the more money you pump into it, or the more energy, or the more whatever, the more you lose that you could use for something else and let it go and move on to something else. Now, you can apply this bias, this cognitive bias, sunken cost bias, to yourself in a positive way. You can apply it to, okay, let me just read 3 sentences, and then the sunken cost bias starts to kick in and you're like, well, now I took the time to put my notes and to sit down, well, I can better now at least read a few pages, right? And once you get going, you understand that, oh, well, it's not that bad, actually, not at all. And then before you know it, you have been studying for, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I wanted to say a year. That's a little bit much, right? A few hours. Same thing with me. I took a small step, set up my camera, and then, okay, I decided to press record and I start talking and the motivation will come, right? And this is just such a powerful tool you can use whenever you feel like you're procrastinating on certain things. Take the smallest step you can take and go do that, and know that you will have to push through this initial resistance before you will start the free flow of energy that will allow you to do it a lot more effortlessly. So I would just invite you to try and do that. So I want to thank you for being brave. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for putting in the time to develop yourself and to grow into your most powerful self. On that note, I will end this video and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.